everybody. Welcome to the Mic Check. Tonight, we have a lower energy, more of an intimate style read, inspirational piece of copy for Nike. So, without any ado, let's just do it.
All right.
We need a soundboard in here.
That was
Right.
horrible. Covered by a lead balloon, but it was just there.
Anyway, our first person who everybody collectively volunteered is Philip.
All right. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike. I volunteer Nathan.
It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike. Hey, volunteer Dan.
Of course you'll do. Of course you'll do.
Yes. Dan, you shall go next.
I shall do something different. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike. Okay, Shane. I volunteer you.
All right. Grab a copy. Where'd my copy go?
Oh, huh.
Okay, here we got it. We got it.
All right, cool.
It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike. And now, Michael.
All right. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence, it's belief, it's a way of life. It's Nike. And also, right now, it's Golda.
Okay. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated excuse me, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike. That would be Sean.
All right. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
Is that everybody?
I believe
That's
that's it.
everybody.
That's
Except for
everybody, unless my phone wants to have a turn, which I don't think it does.
Aw.
It never does.
One of these days.
Maybe,
One
maybe
of
one of the, yeah. One of these days it'll either just start talking on its own or we're just going to have to boot it. I don't know.
Siri, read this.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not an iPhone. I don't do iPhones.
Good for you.
What's the voice assistant on Google? I forget.
Google.
Just
Hey,
Google.
Google,
Hey.
read this. Probably
Yo,
reads better
Google.
than Siri.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, but if
it's-
you do have Siri, you should ask it to play. You should ask it to beatbox for you.
Okay, I will do that.
It's a darn
I've done
good thing I got my devices muted and finally got the Google thing under control. I was in here doing a directed session, and the guy was directing. I had my tablet up, I'm like trying to handle everything, and because I'm directing and engineering at the same time, and he starts out and part of the script's like okay, and when he said okay, I had the sucker muted and Google turned off the mute so I could get the notification.
Yep.
I'm like, stop it, shut up, I'm trying to direct this guy.
No interruptions.
Yeah.
No interruptions. That's what I do on mine. Not
But
priority.
now,
All
No,
right.
back to the piece of copy.
Back to the copy.
Yes, now, I did take note, okay, and we'll probably get into this when we get into the directed read. I noticed a couple of times where it was a little bit more read with a little bit more oomph than needed to be read.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
get it.
No, remember the director's supposed to tell you. You're not supposed to tell the director.
But it was because it kind of turned into like a zone 2 read, whereas it's a mindset, a focus, and you get over into that, for all of us old folks in here, Howard Cosell, a mindset, a focus.
A deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those. It's like or the old throwback to the ABC sports spots. The agony of defeat. And boy, are my feet in agony. But anyway,
Boy, are my feet hurting.
What's weird is this entire time I could hear this read in Alec Baldwin's voice. I know that's kind of weird, but he's got that sort of like when he does a serious read or puts on a very serious tone to his voice. I think it would really, really fit this copy particularly well.
Mm-hmm.
That's. I kind of thought the same thing, except for I was thinking Ray Liotta.
Okay.
Driver.
Yeah.
Everybody has their archetypal celebrity they have in mind for this read.
I've watched Ray Liotta do something serious recently, but I couldn't take it too seriously because I've
It's
kept
Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta.
pastrami, but that's as soon as he said, I tried cold turkey.
But yeah, this definitely seems like it's a zone 1 read all the
Yeah.
way.
Oh yeah.
Most definitely.
Oh,
Up close, lower voice, but with some surety and some confidence in there.
Mhm.
I mean, it says confidence. It's confidence.
Yeah.
You should be confident.
Hey, there's Leonard. He can get in here now.
Leonard has joined us.
Hey.
Hello, Leonard. If you're speaking, you're muted.
Not muted. The microphone's not on it. I don't
Well,
think
he might be
so.
hardware muted.
Yeah, he
Now
just
he's
got his
muted.
turn
Yeah,
on his
sometimes
interface.
that happens. Sometimes you get a hardware mute.
Yep.
It's the glory of technology, isn't it?
There's
There
Lanner.
you are.
Hey, sounds like I didn't even miss much.
Nope,
No.
you're actually gonna be last.
Okay.
So,
So whenever you feel confident, let us know, and you can go ahead and take your read.
Okay. Well, first I need a script. Let's see. I have a link
I
to
just-
it here.
I just
Yep.
posted it. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, Nike, or for those of us in Australia, Nike.
Nike. I got some Nikes.
Hey, Nike, put on your Nikes.
Nika,
This is a familiar script, actually. I think it's off Edge Studios. But anyway, I have seen it before.
Okay, well, let's get it going then. Let's hear what you got.
Okay. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
Okay.
Alrighty then. So let's go ahead and get into the discussion portion, shall we?
Yes.
Indeed.
Back around to what we were saying about
Mhm.
the style of this is, I don't think it would be too far of a cry to use the term active hush comes into play with Beast Copy. Because that would be
I
the thing,
agree.
you know. And credit where credit is due. I got active from Nancy Wolfson. So Nancy, if you're listening, thank you. Because I mean this is one of those kind of reads where while it's got a lot of confidence behind it, you can have a lot of confidence behind you, but not, you know,
volume.
be bold and loud and have lots of volume in the microphone.
I'm wondering.
Or Clint Eastwood.
We
What's up,
me
Doug?
and you talked about it before, but I told you I was going to do a Zone 2 read just to do it.
Yeah.
What if there's a turn right there where you go from Zone 1 to Zone 2, like the inner strength to step back just to
I don't think so. I think that'd be too much of a break right there.
Mhm.
Because if you're literally changing not only your delivery style but also the volume too. So
Yes,
if you
okay.
go from Zone 1 to Zone 2, it could seem like you've spliced two very different reads together and come off sounding really, really wrong. I think
Yeah,
if you're going to go with one or the other, commit to it, either a Zone 1 or a Zone 2.
And it's obviously a Zone 1 read then.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
I
definitely.
thought it was fairly.
This is clearly a Zone 1 read, because if you look at some of Nike's commercials, and a lot of the times when they do this sort of like, you know,
almost
inspirational style, it's usually with like high contrast, sometimes black and white, sometimes with some color, you know, and they show people either, you know, in the gym, they show people working out, they show people doing all kinds of, you know, activity. Of course, they're always wearing Nikes and whatnot. But it's always this sort of like push to make this seem like the ideal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
I mean, go ahead.
when you do that, you do not want to come off as, you know, the star in front of what's going on, as the voiceover, or as Nancy puts it, actually, with something like this, the voice under. Yeah, the voice under. You are putting what's going on screen front and center. You are just the voice over the person's shoulder, like nudging them to believe in whatever this thing is. So that presents itself as a Zone 1 read in our parlance, in our language, and in the you know, according to the mic check, this is definitely Zone 1 because of that.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you picture it, okay, when you get, it's a mindset. You see a racer or runner getting ready to, you know, do a marathon, a focus, and you know, somebody's either getting ready to do some kind of a leap or, some kind of athletic thing. That deep-seated spirit thing, of course, again, pictures of runners or whatever. And then you get that inner strength to keep your feet planted. And possibly, people doing something like playing football or, some sport where they have to keep their feet planted, no matter what presses against them,
Mhm.
And then
Basketball.
they
Yeah, basketball,
Oh, that's
football,
true. Yeah.
anything like that. Hmm.
Mhm.
And then
And
the confidence
Martial
and
arts.
belief would be like, yeah, that would be kind of a football. And then way of life is the workout.
yeah,
Mhm.
somebody,
Yeah, and then you have it sort of maybe like gray out a little bit, and you have the Nike logo pop up. It's Nike.
Yeah, and then the last thing on the screen is black screen and white Nike logo, and
Just do it.
Or somebody messes up and it's the Nike swoosh with like Adidas underneath. It's like, wait, how did that happen?
That only happened once, okay? Leave me alone.
So, yeah, this definitely screams Zone 1, and definitely very personal, very sincere delivery. Now, let's move on a little bit towards emphasis. Nathan, this is obviously your script. Why don't you go ahead and give us a little bit of what you were thinking with this?
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing of it is with the type of read it is, you can't get too punchy on anything. You can kind of allude to it like, inner strength. Keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, and just kind of slight emphasis, but not just over punching your words.
One thing that I noticed a lot in some of the reads earlier was that these short very brief 2-word or brief sentences were always delivered the same way.
Yeah.
It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. Like each one of those needs to have a slightly different emphasis on it. Needs to end off in a different way.
Yeah.
A different dismount. Yeah, you could do that. You could do the ABC. It's a mindset,
Yeah.
a focus, a deep-seated spirit. A mindset. A focus. B, a deep-seated spirit. C, end off in the middle somewhere. Yeah, they do need to be ended off and said a little differently. Each one of these definitely has a particular feeling that's associated with it, particularly for people who are really into this. And thankfully, my wife is huge into health and fitness and stuff like this, so I can kind of see where this is coming from here.
Yeah.
I mean, she's huge into fitness. I'm just huge. I don't know. I guess we just work out together. That's the secret for the facial hair. It hides the double chin.
Right.
And shooting from above instead of below, right?
Yeah. I got the upper angle too, just to make sure that just tilt my head. Oh, I don't have a waddle. No.
What was it that What Women Want? Was that the one where Mel Gibson made the Nike commercial with the women?
I remember the movie. That may have been that title.
That's what I keep picturing when I see this. I actually see a women's Nike commercial when I'm I know it's not, but that's what I'm reading when I see it.
Interesting.
As long as you don't have to wax your legs.
I don't have any hair on my legs.
That's a new level of method acting right there.
I do feel
that's what they did in the movie.
I'll wax my legs, my upper lip.
Oh man!
As you can tell.
And then he falls into the bathtub and gets electrocuted.
What are you doing? I'm exfoliating.
But I mean, that's what I see. I see that Nike commercial that they were doing on that movie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but
yeah.
Been a long time.
Yeah, it has been a while, but I know what you're referencing.
What is it? The Road, It doesn't tell me. It doesn't have any. That's the kind of delivery that I kind of want to give out.
even though that movie's more of a comedy, that delivery there would work for this. Very
It was
much
a
so would work for
beautifully
this.
done voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though, yeah.
So then definitely each one of the ideas that's presented in here needs to be communicated as a separate idea, I feel.
Mhm.
Mindset, focus, deep-seated spirit, inner strength to keep your feet firmly planted on the ground no matter what presses against you, confidence, belief, way of life. All of these different things are a different facet, different aspect of an active lifestyle story.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a question, not a
Mhm.
suggestion, question. So ABC on mindset, focus, deep-seated spirit. Do we do the same ABC on confidence, belief, it's a way of life?
You could. You're
I've
breaking it up
definitely,
with the one in this middle, and with the
Yeah.
sentence in the middle. So you absolutely could.
yeah, I think you can do more, something different than ABC or NBC with it's a mindset of focus and a deep-seated spirit, just because they are different things. So you can mix it up in more than just the pitch nature, but the confidence, belief, and way of life are just so close together. I think it lends itself even more to that NBC pitch.
Yeah. The other thing
kind
is that I think, from what I heard, I think people were reading it a little too quickly.
Mhm.
Like this definitely requires some time and some emphasis on each of the individual parts of the story being told here.
Yeah. I tried to visualize the different, shot comes up, it's a mindset, another shot, it's a focus, and then
Yeah.
It's kind
but
of
we'll-
weird going last and not having heard anything anybody else said.
yes,
Oh no,
you were at a great disadvantage.
Actually,
just
it may
like-
give him an advantage just
Yeah,
because,
it's true.
you got in on the discussion part, and it's like, okay, now I can use that.
Yes, and then when we all go through and get directed, you'll have the greatest advantage.
So, I actually worked extensively on this exact script with my coach for quite a while, but that was a while ago. And right now, I just ran in here straight off the street with basically doing nothing for the past week because I've been on vacation.
Ah, good
How
stuff.
was
Well,
it?
welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome to voiceover. Shall we continue?
Sure.
Alrighty then. So, Nathan, what do you think? Do you think we have a good amount of a good idea of what we're approaching now, or
Yeah, I
is there any
think
more
so.
you'd like to bring up?
No, I think we really did cover it. I mean, it's honestly extremely simple, not complex, as far as the way it goes together. And
All right. Now I guess it's just on us to put it together, huh?
it's a very different kind of read. Yeah, and I still will include, hey, it's a character. You're just narrating. That's all you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Every role is a character.
In this case,
Alrighty then. So then,
Philip.
Yeah?
You ready?
Never.
the smile on Dan's face. You ready?
All right. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
I definitely heard that NBC read on the back end of that.
It was a hair fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My-
I think it started at a nice pace, but then it sort of sped up at the
Oh, man.
midpoint.
Yeah, my take on that is it sounded much too matter of fact, and this is more of an anthem read to me.
Oh, yeah. Keep it low key, but,
Yeah, and picture that scenery in your head,
Right.
all that different kind of what's going on that you're narrating over top of.
What kind of sports do you play with Just even in just play, Philip.
My
None.
main sport is taekwondo, but you know, I've
Even
dabbled,
that, okay.
I've dabbled in
There you go.
baseball, soccer.
Just take taekwondo, for example. Just,
All right.
okay, imagine a full taekwondo match, like just practice and all that stuff going on while you're reading this. I guess that'd be the best way to do it, because this is a sports commercial.
Yeah.
Nike is a sports shoe. Mindset, focus, deep-seated spirit, taekwondo. Inner strength, taekwondo. Keep your feet on the ground when you hit the ground, when you're doing a jumping roundhouse or whatever.
Yeah.
Confidence, belief, way of life. All of it, I mean, all of it can actually fit to any sport. And whatever sport you want to do, just picture that in your head as you're reading it.
Mhm.
It's not fast. Taekwondo is not fast. It's a steady build to being, whatever, raising your belts. It's not something that you see what I mean?
Yeah, it's not, well, applies to every sport. It's not something you can do in a day.
Yeah.
Correct. And that's what sports are. So, I mean, the just steady, let's see, like I said, it got a little fast at inner strength. The confidence, belief, way of life, it came out fast, but you did have that tonal read. And I didn't hear Nike punctuated. I don't know if I did or not. I might have. It's been a while. I've been talking for a minute.
Okay.
Nathan?
Yeah, actually you covered it very well. And as far as emphasizing Nike, just use the hand brackets. If anything, it's
All right.
And take it away.
All right. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
Little fast, but that was close.
Oh, man.
You just slow it down. Maybe just a tick. I mean, not too slow, but just slow it down just a little bit more.
And you over enunciated.
Oh, man.
You said a deep-seated spirit, an inner strength to keep you. Yeah, you were over enunciating as well.
Almost sounded a little hesitant at the it's Nike part too. Almost like Nike, but then again, maybe it's not.
It's yeah. Thanks,
It's
Shane.
like-
I actually thought that too.
Yeah, it's. I thought you started off doing much better with the anthem read part, but then it fell back into the matter of fact there. Again, like, oh, it's Nike.
It's Nike, or is it?
Okay, from the
right.
top.
All right. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep. I'm speaking up. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
Sped it up on its confidence again.
And also,
That
you're
was-
smiling too much.
Yeah, this is a complete no smile read.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say this is definitely no smile because, I mean, think about it. When you want something to instill inspiration, think about the things that actually make people feel inspired. Those are things like confidence. A confident leader inspires people to do whatever. I mean, whether it's good or bad, we don't have to get into that. But still, confidence is inspirational. surety, seriousness, stuff like that. When you absolutely believe it, there's no playing around. There's no messing around. And the smile is softening it up way too much.
Yeah, if you dial the smile meter back to 0, then what you're left with is authoritative, which is where you want to be, kind of.
There's a style of music that would go behind this, and it's very similar to like the Marine Corps PSA, where it's just like doo 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 da 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 dun dun da da da. They're playing those low, trumpets are playing, but it's really soft. But it's got that, definite confidence building kind of thing.
Chariots of Fire.
Yeah, something along those lines, something like that. That's the kind of music that's going in the background. And if you can get that in your head while you're reading this, and then read at that pace, just that slow, deliberate pace, I think you'll get it.
All right. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
All right. You're in the right tone range, definitely. But you put more emphasis on it's than needs to be. Because it keeps getting repeated. And if you keep emphasizing it, it sounds kind of odd. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike. You see, you want to remove the emphasis on it. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike. So the it's is almost a throwaway.
I missed that.
The it's like you take all of the emphasis off of it's. Like anything that's being repeated does not require emphasis.
Okay. So can we get back to that? Like it's pick up from there.
Yeah.
Start with the inner strength one.
Yeah.
I'd also note that you over enunciated the inner strength line a bit, but the rest of it sounded much better to me.
Okay. Deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
Yeah, if you do want to give that more emphasis, just put a little bit more of a break in between it's a way of life and it's Nike.
Okay.
So like it's confidence, it's belief, it's a way of life. It's Nike.
All right. So it's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike. Something like that.
Less of a pause between it's Nike.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'd say on it's a way of life. I don't really like going up there at the end the way we're doing, because that takes a little bit away from the inspirational authoritative. So not it's a way of life, but it's a way of life or something like that.
Yeah, end the idea off a little bit more there.
So it's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike. Oh, I paused.
That's it. No, that's it. That sounded good.
Perfect.
It sounded really good.
Okay.
Did that feel different to you from your previous reads?
I mean, yeah, it felt trying to think.
Yeah, it's okay to say no.
I mean, yeah, that bit of direction, like finality, like authority into it.
So when you see things like, we'd like you to sound inspirational or things like that. Sometimes what you really want to do is, instead of thinking about how you can sound inspirational, you think about what is it that inspires people? Like what makes people feel like they can go out and do anything? What are the things that do that? And try to sound like that. So if you want to sound inspirational, you have to sound confident. You have to sound authoritative. You have to sound like the kind of person who knows what they're talking about. Because when somebody gets good information, they want to act on it. That's an exciting thing. That's something they're going to go out and get, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just something to consider, is when you're given a piece of direction on how it should feel, that's not how you should feel. It's how your listener should feel. And you have to sort of draw on the experiences that you've had, or even some research, whatever kind of market research you want to do, on what gets people to feel that way. So you really did hit that a lot more with the last several reads that I heard. So good on you.
Thanks.
Excellent.
Nice job, Philip.
Thanks, guys.
Oh crap, I'm next.
I think that would
I pick Nathan. Or I'll let you go over.
Oh, that's right. Nathan's next.
Nathan's next.
Nathan's making a tiny adjustment to his microphone. Remember, kids, if you're in a studio situation, they've already done that for you. You
Yeah.
don't have to do it yourself. At home, it may take a little tweaking. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
It didn't sound like you actually believed it. It sounded like you were like scared, like hesitant throughout the whole thing. I don't know how else to explain that.
Like timid, huh?
Yeah.
That sounds odd.
I mean, that's I again, I walk out.
No argument there. It's just like, okay.
I mean, it was like it's a mindset, a focus.
Okay.
It was
It's
kind
not-
of like some hippie on pot, whatever.
Yeah, it didn't.
Mindset.
I don't-
So what I think caused that, or what I think attributed to that, was your pitch assignments were a little higher, I think, at certain points than they should have been. I think it brought you. I think that brought you out a little bit from that grounded, authoritative set read. When you go from it's a mindset, a focus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did that.
it's a
that
mindset,
higher
A
range.
focus. Yeah, you can take a half step. You don't need to go like 2 or 3 steps too high, but we'll get it. The whole ABC thing is sort of just it's a mental device. It's supposed to get you to think about differentiating them, but differentiating them in such a way that doesn't sound odd. Low, high, mid.
Okay.
It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's not necessarily full on A, B, C. It's just how you can differentiate it. So I think that might have been throwing you off a little bit. I think you were trying to hit the tones when really it was just how you're supposed to do it. More to method.
Yeah. Somewhere in there, I had elevated a little bit higher.
Yeah, just try to keep the delivery more grounded, more serious, more down to earth.
Zero humor. That's a challenge for you.
This is why I pick scripts like this, because they challenge Nathan.
Yeah. Also, one more note that I'd throw in there. You had a huge pause there, and it's a way of life. And way of life is a package deal. It all goes together.
It's a
Mhm.
way of life.
And its was more pronounced than Nike was.
Yeah.
It's Nike. Is the way you read it. I don't.
Yeah, I softened everything up a little bit too much after focus there. I lost focus, man. I lost focus. Okay. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
You know, I was just thinking, if you were to assign a character to this, I would say you're a drill sergeant right up in somebody's face.
Hmm.
No, seriously,
That's
seriously.
a
You know,
little
like that.
Yelling,
You know,
without the
like
yelling.
that. Yeah, without the yelling. No, like literally, like right up against somebody. Just
It's
talking to
my
them specifically.
boy. It's
There
a
needs to
focus.
be some edge to it. No, I really do think this needs some edge to it.
Well, not
Yeah.
quite Full Metal Jacket edge, I hope.
No,
I
but
don't give a honky doody what you say. It's a mindset, boy.
no, but you know what I'm talking about, right? When like a drill sergeant comes up right up to somebody and is just right in their face, but to the letter about whatever it is they want to say. I think that's sort of what I'm trying to allude to.
Well, except with Drill Sergeant, you want to inspire them. You don't want to scare them.
Yeah,
You don't
we
want to stare them into submission. Take a teacher. A really good teacher or a tutor. You're sitting down and they're telling you, hey, look, this is how it is. This is what you need to know. But you have the ability to do it. I guess that's how I pictured what Michael actually just said.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, drill instructor takes it just a little bit further away from the because
Yeah.
even though they say I am a mother and a father to you, they never act like mother.
Maybe
Not
it's
to take
cool.
away from Michael said, but that's what I heard when he
No,
said
that's fine. That's fine. I'm trying to connect. I'm trying to communicate an idea, and any other interpretations of it might help it connect better. So
Get as far
It's a
away from the
coach,
Big
maybe.
Lebowski style read as I can possibly get.
And by the way, I'm also a voice actor. I can take criticism.
How about a coach's
I
interview?
didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Can you imagine working with somebody like that in the booth?
Oh God,
man.
no.
Like you're like, I'd love to try. Can we try this a little bit differently? Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. I messed that up.
Oh my god. Oh, I did it again, didn't I? Oh
You'll
god.
never find work again.
Anyway, Nathan, let's hear it again.
It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
Better.
I like.
on,
There was a
on
couple of things. Go ahead, Leonard. Sorry.
Yeah, on the deep-seated spirit, I'd like to see it ending in a period and not an ellipses.
I got you there. Didn't.
You sped through slightly on it's a way of life. Yeah, a bit.
Okay.
I felt like we were getting itsy.
Yeah, this script, it's not good to get itsy.
So many it's.
And that's why you got to tune them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hit those periods.
Yeah. Authoritative.
It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted. Yes. Okay, my feet are planted.
I didn't mean to do that.
No.
I'm planted
all right.
sideways. Here we
All right,
go.
all right, let's go ahead and
Take it
pick it up. Pick it up.
From the top. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
Nice.
That was
Well,
nice.
what did you like about it?
It sounded believable and it sounded personal.
Okay.
The way of life came a little fast, but it's a way of life.
Yeah, the way of life. I heard that pot smoking hippie coming out again.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the rest
Or
of it
Brett.
was very much better.
Hey, it's the way of life, man. Okay. I'll just hit that one more time. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
It's good.
It's much better.
Way of life.
Yeah.
Oh, way
After I
of life.
after I planted my fleet,
No, you mean you
You
planted your peat?
I was standing flanted.
I was really thrilled over your first read there, until you got to that planted thing and it threw you off. But, but up to that point, it was golden.
Yeah.
It's like I cannot possibly keep going without laughing at myself right now.
All right. So next was Dan, right?
Yes.
Oh, goody. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike. It's Nike.
You don't need to worry about billboarding it. Just state it. It's Nike.
Yeah. Okay. Like I was actually about to do before I changed myself.
Yeah, before you second guessed yourself.
Yeah.
You were second guessing yourself. It's okay. Just state it. You've got this.
It's Nike.
It's Nike. That's like the firm, this down, it's Nike.
If you're familiar with that Win Ben Stein's Money,
Oh, dear goodness, yes.
I caught a bit of that in your read. So sorry
Well,
for flattering.
I actually do read deadpan pretty much. That's what I usually get hired for, is the deadpan
Yeah.
reads. So yeah.
Win Ben Stein's Nikes.
Well, then use that. Use that.
Yeah.
Put the emphasis in just the way that you spread your words apart, or the way you're more used to when you're doing that more deadpan read. That could still work. Let's hear
Definitely.
that. Go ahead. Give us another read. Give it to us in your normal style.
Okay. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it seems like you get into your head a little bit when you're trying to take these directions, but I mean that read right there was pretty much right on track.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
do the
I
same
actually do.
thing.
I get hired for a lot of deadpan reads. I don't know why.
Because you do
All
it
right.
really
Deadpan with
well.
character
That's
is
okay.
what.
I get hired for like most of what I've been hired for lately has been product to walk around videos for car companies. Like, what? I get it. We get hired for weird things.
Yeah, mine's mostly real estate. So
All right.
Well, anyway, what did people think of that read?
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
I'd like a touch more inspirational in there, but
Mm.
overall, pretty good.
Actually, see, I think coupled with the kind of music I would think they would put behind this and the type of video they would put over it, I think it would actually pull off exactly what they're looking for,
Mhm.
in a sense.
I want to try something
Sure.
a little different from out of my comfort zone to do this.
Let's hear it.
Give me a second. I'm trying to make sure it would fit before I do it. It sounds like it will, but we'll see.
Just go for it. Just go for it.
It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to help you keep your It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike. Wow.
Okay.
I heard myself and I don't know how to say it.
I think that came off a little bit more emotional than it needed to.
Yeah.
I sort of kind of, forgive me, I got reassuring mother from that read.
Yeah.
That's actually,
Yeah.
that's what I was trying for, was the bit more emotional read. I didn't
Okay.
realize I was going over the top with it.
Yeah, it was a little bit more pronounced than probably would fit properly.
Well, as they say, and it's good to go over the top because then you can dial it back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'd say, were you to try that again, definitely dial it back.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll stick with my deadpan for the moment. But if
Yeah, that one
But I
fit a little
actually-
bit better.
yeah, that works. I liked my deadpan read, the read that Leonard called deadpan.
All right. So who's going next?
Shane.
Shane, you're up.
Hey, it's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
All right. What did everybody think of that?
I think he kind of sped through it at the as he got toward the end.
I was going to say the same thing.
Before.
Yeah, I felt it started out really strong. I was very happy with it up to the start, but at the very end, it didn't register with me as going too fast, but it kind of lost some of its authoritativeness.
I have a question. Okay, so Shane, would this be better for you if confidence, belief, way of life was set up like mindset, focus, deep-seated spirit?
Maybe.
I mean, we were trying to break it. Me and Nathan were breaking it up earlier to make it easier as a copy. So
At the beginning,
But-
one line. Confidence,
Yeah.
belief, one line on the copy. Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
It,
Is
yeah,
that-
probably would. I will.
so separate that in your head as you're reading it.
Yeah.
Or if you have a way to edit it, just hit enter a couple times.
Yeah.
Nathan can edit.
Yeah.
All right, let's give it another shot here. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
My only note to that would be end off on a down note with Nike to give
Yep.
it more of that sort of like authoritative, tie everything all together under the brand feel.
Finale.
Yeah, give it that finality to it.
All right, let's do one more.
Okay.
It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
Yeah. Yeah. I loved it.
Pretty good.
I would cut the "It's Nike" into your last read, but that was a great ending.
Yeah, all in all, really, really solid read.
Agreed.
So
Fantastic.
good on you. Congrats. You done it. You hired. Right? Right? Those are the words. You hired. Anyway. Wait, am I next? Was that me?
I think so.
Yes, it is.
Okay, it's me.
Shane, Michael, Sean, Gold. No,
All right.
Michael, Golda, Sean, and then Leonard.
Okay. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
Solid.
There's something I'm going to note that nobody else has done.
Hmm.
It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground. That let me know that you weren't done with that thought. And I haven't heard anybody else do it. I'm not even sure I did it. And that sounded fantastic. You raised up at ground to let us know that, hey, you know what? I'm not done with this concept yet. Not like a question raised, but
Middle of a sentence raise.
Yeah, I was actually sort of thinking about that through Shane's read. I was thinking, it sounds like, when you end off on a down note right there on ground, like you're finishing that idea, but it's part of a bigger story in that sentence. There's something else going on. So I was thinking, how would I continue that? And what I came up with was just end off ground on a high note, denoting that you're not going to end it there. You're going to continue it. So that was my thought process around it.
it was a little high, but it was
Okay.
I mean, just come down just a hair.
Yeah, I could
And-
probably bring it more in line with everything else.
Yeah. Because that's
Alright.
the only
deal.
thing that really stood out to me was the ground. So
Okay. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
you're hired.
If only.
Hey, next time I get fired, we'll be the first.
Anybody else? I have nothing to say to that. So
No, I
it
think
was
that's about as good as it gets.
Thank you very much. Anyway, I chose Golda to go next, so
Yeah, so it's
the
my
onus
turn.
is on you, Golda,
All right. Wow.
apparently.
It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
So, Golda, were your arms just straight to your side that whole read?
I was like this.
Okay. I'd like to see you sort of like pin down every point. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. And imagine each one of those is a slightly different color. Because
Okay.
each one of them has a different feel, right?
Yep.
So that's what I'd like to see. Just it's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. I'd love to see the physicality that you're doing. I'd love to see the motions you'd be taking.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
confidence wasn't there with your whisper either.
Okay.
Yeah, I was needing more confidence from the whole
More
thing.
confidence. Okay.
Yeah, it sounded like you were whispering. Like,
Okay.
okay.
It wasn't a confidence thing. It was yeah.
It didn't.
Got it.
It didn't sound confident. Yeah.
All right. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
The only note that I have on that is you attacked confidence just too harsh there.
Okay.
Yep. Same here.
Just too harsh.
Okay.
I have one other. She
Okay.
was holding it perfectly until she had to reset, and then her tone changed.
Okay.
But
From the top again.
From the top. You keep up those actions. It really did change your read.
Okay. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
Okay, yeah, you lost it after the trip up.
Yeah.
I don't think that your way of life, the first one that you did before trying it again, was all that bad, actually. I think that fit in
Okay.
pretty well.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
So, I
Right.
think the only thing that messed you up, the only thing that got you was you second-guessed yourself right
I
there.
second-guessed
that
myself
last
right there.
minute.
Okay. So
You did-
from the inner strength? Or-
everything else was great. I think I'd love to hear it again, though. I want you to go from the top. Let's do the
Okay.
whole thing.
It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
I'm
Yeah.
sold.
Oh yeah.
cheers.
Be here
Anybody
next
have
time.
anything they'd like to say? Anybody notice anything that maybe they want to point out? Floor is open.
I'm actually reminded of there's a Nancy Wolfson video on YouTube somewhere where she has an auditioner just say the words EA Sports and try to deliver a good read on that. And it's surprisingly hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Hey.
something that I found
It's in the game.
I found in a different audition context. I found myself just essentially repeating, it's Nike, only it's whatever the company was.
Mhm.
Just repeating that a whole bunch of times and figuring out, and then going back and listening to it, like what really works, what doesn't work, and how to try to get the perfect read. And it was just an interesting exercise.
Well, I think all in all, with the little bit more motion that we saw out of you, and you're trying to, and I saw you trying to assign different things, to hand motions, that really did change up your read, and it did sound incredibly good afterwards. It had the right kind of like direct confidence that I was really looking for out of your performance. You did fantastic. So good on you. You're hired.
Good direction. I like that. I'll have to remember.
Excellent.
Yeah, the pinning thing, it's kind of like, if you really want to dig into it, if you really want to dig into the psychology of it, you're sticking something into something else. There's a tiny little bit of violence in it. And if you want to extrapolate that, that's kind of that's kind of what confidence is like. You're sure of yourself, so nothing's going to stop you. There's a little bit of a hostility in there, and that's okay. And that did come out a little bit, but here's the thing. In the context of the script, that fit really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
So those hand motions, just changing up your actions, was fantastic. You did a great job with it. So
Cool.
good on you.
Get that fly.
Hey, voice actors use body language, I think, more than on-camera actors do. In a way.
Yeah, on-screen actors, they have the benefit of having things like, props and makeup and the like to help them out. We don't.
And the camera right there in their face.
Yeah, exactly.
And closed captioning to help them when they mumble their lines. Lines.
Oh man.
All right,
Well,
so who
anyway.
Sean, right?
I'm
up.
listening.
John.
Press X to Sean.
Oh gosh.
All right.
So internet memes aside, go ahead. Let's get your read.
It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter where. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did everybody think?
You sped up after your trip up.
He did. But at the same time, I'm hearing, you need to kind of cut too close to a whisper, not like whisper like this, but kind of like one of those, I got to keep it down just a little bit lower, like right in here. Because when you're reading, it's coming across, it's a mindset, it's a focus, and it's kind of cutting through a little bit more.
Yeah, I think you actually peaked a couple of times too.
Okay. So a little more intimate then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, so no matter what. It's an inner
Start from the
strength.
top. Take it from the top. Take
Okay.
it from the top.
It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
Okay. You're in the right emotional place.
But
Like
very fast.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Your speed is still a little too high.
Okay.
So you're at sort of a brisk walk. I know you probably don't notice it. You might speak a little bit faster normally. I'm just spitballing where that comes from. I'm not making an assumption about you. Please let me clarify that. I'm just saying that might come from maybe the way you naturally speak. It might come from the way that the script is sort of written. It's kind of structured that everything's really close together, but there's no real indication that it should be read slow. But you definitely should allow yourself a little bit more breathing room between all the words. Go at a slower walking pace. You're at a brisk walk right now. Let's go to a slower walk, a more careful, sort of taking all the scenery kind of walk.
Okay.
And again, like I told Phil, think of the cadence and rhythm of the music that's going to be behind this. It's more of a slow-paced, orchestral type of music that's going on in the background.
Okay. That would be good. That's good.
And then
Helpful.
just follow that cadence.
On the It's Nike, really make it into a mic drop there at the end.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, good call. I like that direction.
Nike. Okay. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
Again, you took most of the direction really well, but it's still a little
Still fast? Okay.
Yeah, just a little fast. Slow your pace down just a little bit. Now remember, orchestral music.
How about like do this?
Yeah, like a little metronome to myself.
Yeah. It's a mindset beat, a focus beat, a deep-seated spirit beat. Every time you see any kind of punctuation of any kind,
Take a beat.
just take a beat. Let it breathe a bit.
Yeah, hit the periods.
Did mine.
Yeah, you get a half beat on the commas. Just a heads up.
Okay. What were you saying, Shane?
I said I don't know if it came up on camera as I was reading, but I was doing it's confidence, boom, it's belief, like that.
Oh.
Okay, cool. Right on. All right,
But you're also speaking a little fast as well. So not just the breaks that you have to worry about. It's the
just
tempo
slow it
of your
down. Yeah.
yes.
Overall, I really like what you're doing. So,
I do too.
Aside from just slowing down a little, I think it's darn near perfect.
Okay. All right, I'll focus on my speed this time. Okay. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
Much better.
There
I'd
you
buy
go.
that.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Spot on. That was great. It was great.
Thank you.
Congratulations. If I was the casting director, I'd probably hire you. And again, it's I like y'all.
Yeah, if we were the casting director for Nike, we wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
You never know. We've had some pretty impressive guests.
Yeah, we've had some interesting guests. Who knows? You know, let's not rule that out of the cards. But
Oh, that's
you know.
true. That's
You
true.
can-
That's true.
Yeah. Hey, we've had
casting
the
directors.
booth director for King of the Hill in here. Okay, so you know.
And Jackie Chan Adventures.
And who worked on The Simpsons?
And
We had 30-year industry vets. We've had some good people in there. But anyway, today is not about them. Today is about us.
yeah,
So
Those are the
now.
kind of guests we have on the mic check, by the way. So hey, show up. You never know who you
Right?
might be.
and
yeah, and some of those might not be recorded, so you might not be able to catch them after.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
next was
Leonard.
I know.
Leonard.
Okay. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
All right. What did everybody think of that, Reed?
It almost sounded like one of those like automated voices. It was kind of robotic.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little robotic.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't deadpan. It was robotic.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not quite sure where to go with that.
Yeah, it had
Well, I think the perception just came with how you started. You started off on a down note. It's a mindset, and that sort of set the precedence for the rest of the read. These, like I mentioned with Goldie, you know, each one of these should have a different feel, a different flavor. So maybe, you know, telling people that exercise, that getting up and, you know, getting off of the couch and going outside for a walk or on a bike or a hike, whatever the case may be, you know, it's not just a physical activity. It's a mindset. Like this is maybe you trying to get somebody to think about it in a different way. That's kind of why I would suggest thinking about the ABC sort of or the ABC delivery. Because it sort of starts off that way. It's a mindset, you know. This isn't just me making it a habit to just get up and walk. This is me literally changing what's happening in my head. So I think just the way that you started, it's a mindset. It made it feel a little bit more like some sort of educational video than anything else. Just
Okay.
with that starting up and then down.
And then he did it. And then he went into a focus, a deep-seated spirit. I mean, you went down on
sounded the
every
same.
single period,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's where the robotic came in. The first 3 lines are still one thought or one set. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. And then it goes into the second thought. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground no matter what presses against you. And then it goes into the third thought. It's confidence, it's belief, it's a way of life. And then it goes into it's Nike. I know I'm not reading it like I would, but
Yeah.
but it's 3 different thoughts. That's why we kind of separate it like this. But the reason the 3 on top are separated is because it's Nathan, I know we
each
talked
one of those,
doing it.
each one of those is
Yeah.
a scene change in the same story.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's what it is right there.
Okay. So I'm hearing a little more variety in the first 3.
Mm-hmm. A little bit more
But
variety in those.
it's not the final thought. It's
Okay.
it's
Just the introduction.
it's building. It's building to another thought. When you went, it's a mindset. That sounded like you were done. A focus. Oh no, you're done again. But
Mhm.
it's a mindset. A focus. It's not ending the thought.
Yeah.
I'm terrible.
Okay.
Well,
No, I think I'm getting what you're saying.
the one thing that helps, okay, and this is what I did. You couldn't see my hand motions because of where my camera's located, but literally it was, it's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit, and I would basically do this hand motion whenever I hit the period. That way I knew where I was hitting it at, and then, but of course, taking beats and reading it, but listening to the musicality in the background in the back of my mind at the same time.
If it might help you to put them all together, you could replace those first 2 periods with commas.
That can help.
Okay. Not sure if it helps me or not, but I'll try something.
Who knows? Just I think that the main important thing is each one of those lines is, again, a scene change in the same story. So though they are separated by space and by periods, they all do tell the same thing. So it's just variations on the same thing. That's really what I think we're all trying to get at. It's a lot of information.
That's why I asked Shane if the confidence, belief, way of life was messing him up, because it's not the same bracket setup as the first 3, and it helped him out as well, because they are 3. It's 3 separate thoughts, and then the finale. Yes, it's one scene. It's multiple scenes, but it's still the same thought. A mindset, a focus, and a spirit are going to be one thought. Confidence, belief, way of life is going to be a thought.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Well, why don't you go ahead and give us a go?
Okay. It's a mindset, a focus, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Nike.
Can you give me that? It's Nike, just like you told Sean to. Is it mic drop? Just get a mic drop. It's Nike.
It's Nike.
I think you're doing the it thing. You're putting all the emphasis on the it.
Okay. It's Nike.
That's more like it. That's more like it.
There you go.
We'll just chop that in right at the end of your last read, and you got it.
Okay.
No, but seriously, that last one, you had a pretty good variation at the very start, which gave it that sort of like scene change on the same story feel. I didn't really have an issue with your middle sentence beforehand. I really don't think you did a bad job on that, and you didn't do a bad job on it here either. And then, the only thing was just I wanted to hear that "It's Nike" as a mic drop, and you managed it. So all in all, solid read.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Piece it together, engineers.
And last time I was at Tim's studio, he told me, "Look, I can edit. It's okay. Just take what you need to take."
That's exactly it. Well, guys,
My directed reads are so much more viable anymore because I mean, if you're doing it by yourself in your booth, it makes a big difference for everybody. I mean, I did an audition this weekend. I did 3 takes of an audition, but I didn't have a directed session, so I was directing myself. It's a lot harder to direct yourself than it is to hear feedback from somebody else. And that's why I come to the mic check. That's why I like to be here, is because I know that I'm going to get candid, like even brutal feedback from these people. And
I don't think we've
I'm
ever
just
been
glad to be
too
here.
brutal.
yeah, we don't have the Gordon Ramsay voice.
No. It's
Your
not
read
healthy.
fell flat. Can you believe how flat that read was? I've seen pan bread less flat.
Simon since the VAU mic check.
Nope, it's not VAU anymore.
Excuse me.
Yeah, now we're just the mic check.
Just the mic check.
Okay, wrapped up.
All right, everybody. Well, hey, thank you, Nathan, for that script. That was absolutely awesome. Fantastic script. Oh, hey, that was my line.
It was challenging.
Next week is my week.
Yes.
I believe if you are on the Facebook chat, you have already seen next week's script. I'm just going to use that one again because it's a good script. Don't worry, it's commercial. We're not going to do anything crazy. But join us next week for that, and we'll keep you updated on our next guest.
Absolutely. And with that, we will see you all next week.